History remembers many rulers, men who conquered lands, built empires, and ruled through power. But very few were remembered for something far greater, for fearing Allah more than the throne beneath them. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz was not a man who chased leadership. He never dreamed of ruling an empire. In fact, when the responsibility of becoming caliph was placed upon him, it weighed on his heart heavier than any crown. On the night he became caliph, there were no celebrations, no feasts, no pride. He returned home quietly, his steps slow, his thoughts heavy. He knew that from that moment onward, every hungry stomach in the land, every oppressed soul, and every injustice left unanswered would stand against him on the day of judgment. That night, sleep abandoned him. He sat alone in the darkness, listening to the silence, his heart trembling with fear. He whispered words that history would never forget. If a mule were to stumble in Iraq, I fear Allah would ask me, why I did not pave the road for it. This was not the fear of a weak ruler. It was the fear of a man who understood accountability. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz understood something many leaders never do. That leadership is not an honor, it is a burden, a heavy trust placed upon the soul. Despite ruling an empire stretching across vast lands, his life remained simple. His clothes were patched, his meals were modest. Luxury was something he deliberately avoided. The wealth of the state passed through his hands, but it never entered his heart. When he worked on public matters, he would light the lamp paid for by public wealth. But the moment the conversation turned personal, he would extinguish it. He refused to allow even a drop of public trust to mix with his private life. His wife once asked him why he lived with such hardship, despite having access to the finest comforts of the world. He looked at her calmly and said, I chose the lighter burden in this world, to avoid the heavier burden in the hereafter. Under his rule, something remarkable happened. Justice spread like light across the land. Oppression faded. Rights were restored, and people began to sleep without fear. So powerful was his justice that charity collectors struggled to find anyone in need. They traveled from city to city, searching for the poor, searching for the hungry, searching for those eligible for charity. But they found none. For the first time in memory, wealth reached every corner of society. When this news reached Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, people expected him to rejoice, to smile, to feel proud. Instead, he wept. He feared that even this success might not be enough before Allah. One night, his servant found him crying alone, his shoulders trembling, his head lowered. When asked what caused his tears, Umar replied softly, I remembered the hungry, the sick, and the oppressed. I remembered the people who may still be suffering, without my knowledge. And I remembered the day when I will stand before Allah alone. No guards, no wealth, no title, only deeds. His rule lasted only 2 years, just 2 short years. But in that brief time, he changed the meaning of leadership forever. He proved that true leadership is not measured by power, nor by conquest, nor by authority. True leadership is responsibility. It is justice. It is humility. And above all, true leadership is fearing Allah more than fearing the loss of power. That is why centuries later, his name is still remembered, his legacy still spoken of, and his life still studied. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz was not just a ruler. He was a reminder that leadership is a trust, and that every trust will one day be questioned.